for banter, figured I don't really know what's happened over the past few days outside of Zach Wilson just coming out as on top of the world, dude, the MILF Hunter.
Well, I can't ever really take it like him being brought up in the media seriously because we grew up with the Zach Wilson,
That is true. Yeah.
who's still one of like my close friends to this day.
Yep.
Because I was like getting texts from people like, "Hey, did you hear about Zach Wilson banging his mom's friends?" And I'm like thinking they're talking about like our friend Zach Wilson
Yeah.
and not the New York Jets quarterback.
Yeah.
But because what was it? It was the girlfriend or his ex girlfriend is like with his best friend,
Yep.
which is still a sleazy move. No
100%.
matter what the situation is, it's a terrible move.
Yeah.
But it obviously got pissed that everyone was calling her homie hopper, and she was like, "Well, Zach sleeps with all of his mom's friends," and then that took off to the moon. And but hey, you know what? Like this is one that I think she was hoping would like I don't know, be negative towards him.
Yeah.
But all that has come out is that like Zach Wilson's a badass for banging his mom's friends. Like that it was like more of a power move than anything. So I don't know. And I'm kind of in that boat. Go for, I mean, that's go for
Yeah.
launch, buddy. I mean, that is, I think that's a power move. Plus, you know, fan of moms.
Yeah.
And now apparently a fan of Zach Wilson. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a damn about anybody who plays for the Jets, but now
Yeah.
that I know that his off the field extracurriculars are where they are,
Mhm.
I might be a much bigger fan than I was.
Yeah. No, the one clip that I saw, it was like I was on Twitter, and the one tweet I saw was like Zach Wilson waking up this morning, seeing Twitter, and it was just the clip from South Park with all the police officers going, "Nice." Wait, so she was a female
Yeah.
teacher? Nice. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Smalls back again with another edition of The Vault, the weekly show that takes a look back at some of the best and worst jerseys in sports. Took a week off last week, but I am happy to say that we are back and better than ever, really, as always. With me, as always, is Benny Buckets. How's it going, Benny?
It's going, brother. Happy to be back after a little hiatus, but we're rip roaring ready to go. How are you?
Dude, every day is a good day that we're doing this show. So I'll keep it short and sweet this week. It's
Agreed.
And the weather's also beautiful today. I'm glad that it's kind of. I feel like it's cooling down a little bit, and maybe that's just me. But like there for a while, it was like peak summer, and it's definitely like cooling down like a little bit. So
Yeah, and to me, if it's warm but there's a nice breeze, like
yeah,
that's good for me. I don't need these days that are 95 with the sun beating down, making you wish you were dead, boiling through your soul.
yeah,
I don't need all that. But
mm,
nice warm with a breeze, you know, like tank and shorts weather, like
oh yeah,
that's what I'm asking for.
oh
So,
yeah,
but yeah, man, it's been good. We're getting back in the season of kicking around, and
mm-hmm,
you know, so that's always a good sign too this time of year.
yep,
So all in all, you know, we're in a good, nice, smooth stride right now.
oh yeah. Trying to think if there's anything sports related that we really missed outside of the Zach Wilson uh, story that
Right.
hit the airwaves. I think really, I don't think we talked about. I don't think we talked about it. The Joey Chestnut choke slamming a dude at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Did we talk about that?
I don't know if we did or we did. I think we might have like personally, but I don't think we did
Okay.
for the show. I mean, look, guys, you may not like that this is what peak performance looks like, but Joey Chestnut is peak male performance. He just throated 63 hot dogs, puts a dude in a full Nelson sleeper hold that was part of some movement, whatever, and then he made sure he had no movement because he was limp dick on the ground. So Joey Chestnut, man of the people, man, literally fighting for the people while in an air cast on his leg.
Yeah.
The guy is just doing it all and on top of the world. I've been seeing him do a lot of interviews. He did the Pat McAfee show. He did Barstool. Like, I like that he's like getting out there.
Yep.
So Joey Chestnut creeping up into my top 10 athletes of all time.
Yeah,
so.
dude. And you can't deny, I think he's one of the great athletes ever. I don't think you can.
Yeah, have Tom Brady do that. Bet he can't, bitch ass. Eating avocado ice cream, guarantee he can't throw 63 hot dogs.
Yeah, dude.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah,
and Joey, it's not like he's like fat either. Like
no.
he's a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think, side note, Joey Chestnut and Phil Kessel would be very good friends.
They definitely are. I don't think it would be. I think they are. It's just they don't like to publicize it, dude. It's just not out for everyone to see. That's just
it's not Facebook official, but they're friends for sure.
Oh, they definitely are. They definitely are. But yeah, dude. I mean, what he's won 15 years in a row. That's greatness. You can't argue with it. There's been no other athlete that has been more dominant ever.
I mean, he's got 15 in like 17 years because Kobayashi got him the 1 year.
Yep.
And then there was like a straggler, but. You're telling me 15 championships? Everybody's squirting over Tom Brady with 7 or 6 or 50, however many he has. He doesn't have as many as Joey Chestnut, though, because that's a real athlete. Tom Brady taking a lot of ricochet shots, but it is what it is.
Yep.
All I'm saying is if you want me to make a Mount Rushmore of athletes, Joey Chestnut's in front of Tom Brady. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Joey Chestnut didn't do it the easy way. He didn't have Belichick drawing up little pop screens over the middle.
Yeah, and he didn't have sponsorships from Uggs or anything like that.
He's not kissing his son, dude.
From Nathan's. Literally the object of the sport. That would be like if Tom Brady was sponsored by like Wilson Footballs or something like that. Like, but guess what? He's not. But the topic of the entire sport sponsors their number one athlete. So I think you should take that into consideration as potentially the greatest athlete of all time.
Yeah, I don't think there's any denying it at this point. But yeah, he's a GOAT. I don't really have anything else sports related that I really want to talk about unless you do. But
not sports related, but I did see CEO Deke Whiten this past weekend.
Oh yeah.
In Nashville, Tennessee, which was a blast. I recommend that everybody go at least once in their life. I will for sure be returning. But I'm going to rate Derek's performance as a friend this weekend. Okay. In 3 different categories. Okay. So in punctuality, a 1 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, and the reason that I say that is because Derek told me he was going to be out, and granted, he did give me a rough estimation, and he said, I will be there around 7. Okay. We saw Derek at 10:30, and we were done seeing Derek about 11:30. So getting where we thought we were going to have like an evening, and granted, I do know he was dealing with another obligation. So in terms of excuses, I'll give him a 6 out of 10 because he was a casualty of his girlfriend's friends, who his girlfriend won me over, by the way, big fan. So good job, Derek. So on the girlfriend scale of her as a person and what kind of girlfriend of our friend she would be to the boys, at least a crispy 9 out of 10. So like she was very welcoming, very personable, didn't act weird around us, acted like she knew us as long as Derek did. It was great. So, he's doing well in those regards. Where we met him and he told us to meet him at 5 out of 10, because it was cool because it was in Nashville, but it was the sweatiest, hottest, like more of like a club, that we met him at. And it was hard to hear him. And I mean, just everybody in there was drenched and it was gross. But in terms of his reaction when he saw us, 10 out of 10. So I'm going to give him that because it was very genuine. It was very excited. It made us feel good. for the 13 seconds that we were able to see him, and then disappearing David Blaine, Chris Angel skills, 53 out of 10, because just we turned around for half a second and Derek was gone, but he did follow up with a nice, I'd say his closing skills, 8 out of 10, because he sent us a nice text saying how happy he was to have seen everybody and things like that. So overall, Derek and Nashville experience, I'll give it a 6.9 out of 10.
Nice.
All things considered.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was a very in-depth review, and I appreciate that. The punctuality
I had
thing,
to.
the punctuality thing, I think is hilarious because now, so you're saying before I dog him, you're saying that he was he late because of a prior engagement, or did he leave because of a prior engagement, or was it both?
No, so he was late because of a prior engagement.
Okay, never
I don't
mind.
know why he left. We didn't really follow up with that.
Okay.
But he was late because of a prior engagement.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause
Uh,
I was gonna dog him because on draft day he always like gives us shit if we call in like 10 minutes before we start at 8, and he just gets so mad when we're not punctual. So like that's why I was gonna dog him, saying that if he was coming in 3 hours late and he's giving me shit for calling in just 10 minutes before we're supposed to go on air, I wasn't gonna take that lightly. But sounds like that wasn't actually the case. So I won't drag him through the mud.
well, I mean, if we're talking about when things start and he's upset about you not being there when it starts, he was 3.5 hours late. So, granted, he gave me a rough roundabout time, but if I tell you I'm going to be there around 7, you're thinking like, 7:15, 7:30, not 10:30.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I was happy to see him regardless. I'm very thankful for the time we did get. Although it was brief, it was memorable. And maybe next time he'll just, plan things out better.
Yeah.
But I did appreciate that he posted on his story a video and said that he is Steve Harrington because we're all younger than he
Yep.
is. I enjoyed that reference a lot. So, references 11 out of 10. It was excellent.
Yep. No, that's good stuff right there. Did you talk salaries at all? We'll get started here in a sec. Did you talk TFTB salaries at all?
Well, I didn't fit in that Tuesday
Yeah.
at 3 to 4 a.m. window.
Yeah.
So we did not. There was actually no business discussed. I tried to, and he literally put his entire hand over my face. So I figured I should just take a rain check.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the correct decision there. But well, yeah, I'm glad y'all had a good hour of fun down in Nashville.
It was a good quality power hour
Yep.
of bonding. That's for sure.
Yep. All right, Benny, you want to get started with our ad read this week?
Absolutely. All right, listen, punks. If you want to get your body right, there's only one decision to make, and it's easy. It's right here next to me. It's Marshall Fitness. Marshall Fitness is going to get you right, get your body tight, if that's what you want, I guess. But whatever your needs are, whether you're trying to put on muscle, whether you're trying to lean out, whether you're trying to do both, whether you're just trying to build strength from where you were at a certain point, whatever you need, Will is going to build a plan to you. He's not going to mold you to what he wants to see. He's going to mold you to what you want to see. And he's going to work within your means, with your schedule, with what equipment you have available. He's going to help you using the MyFitnessPal and deal with you virtually so that you don't have to make a hike all the way out to him. He will be available for you. He's a top-class trainer. I wouldn't trust anybody else. Check out Marshall Fitness today.
Thank you, Benny. Shout out Marshall Fitness. I saw Will. I was telling you at Tequila Cowboy this weekend. Actually, just ran into him.
That's right.
And I'm not gonna expound on the details of the rest of that night, but we did
Debauchery.
Yeah, it was debauchery. And shout out Grant Taylor too, another guy that Will went to high school with, that I played soccer with also as a kid. And that was like the bigger surprise. I saw Will. I was like, holy shit. And then his buddy was also right there. So it was, I never knew how big Tequila Cowboy was, first of all. That place is massive. I'd never been to like the 30 back rooms that they have there.
Yeah, there's like 4 bars in one bar.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, shout out Marshall Fitness. I'm still on that Marshall Fitness grind. Go check him out. He knows what he's doing. EPL jerseys is the topic of conversation this week. Premier League jerseys, I think that's something, Benny, you and I both just being from the soccer background, I know you and I probably have a lot of thoughts about this, and this is something that, like, I feel like we've probably mentioned Premier League jerseys in the past, but we've never just done Premier League. We've
Right.
done
We
just
didn't boil
soccer.
it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I do think, like, in my opinion, the Premier League is the best form of soccer outside of maybe the World Cup. I would put the World
I
Cup.
wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, and I do think some of the looks in the EPL are cold and just overall kind of classic. So glad we're finally getting to it.
Agreed. I mean, in EPL is essentially, aside from the World Cup, also the only soccer I'll actually watch, like
Hmm.
professionally. I watch college soccer and obviously high school soccer, but
Hmm.
professionally, the EPL and the World Cup are the only two variations I'm probably going to watch. I wish, like, but the thing is, it's more accessible to see the EPL than it is the MLS, and we live in America.
Yeah.
So, I wish that the MLS was a bigger league, but unfortunately, they're just not, at least not yet. But the EPL, I mean, they call it the English Premier League for a reason. They're just kind of the top dogs, and I'm excited to dive into their stuff today.
Yeah. No, I'm a big Bayern Munich fan. I would say that if I had to pick a pro team, that's probably my team. Unfortunately, the Bundesliga just isn't that competitive, whereas the Premier League really is competitive like week in, week out. You never really know what's going to happen. It just feels like there's so much more weight to every game than most of the other leagues. So, in my opinion, it's the
Absolutely.
best one. So, all right, Benny, you want to get started with your first pick?
So, no, this is not Nicolas Cage, but this is a player on the 1999 West Ham United team. Anybody who knows anything about me and most of my friend group, we were obsessed with the movie Green Street Hooligans. And in that movie, the Green Street Hooligans are a fan of West Ham United because I'll be blowing bubbles.
Bubbles.
And which, first of all, one of the best like team fight songs
Oh
ever
yeah.
is just look up Blowing Bubbles. I could do the whole thing right now, but it's going to take up too much of the show. But it's only like 30 seconds, but you should definitely check it out. These here, this is the old school short shorts, and then with the polo collar um, jersey on. But I've always just loved their colorway and their logo. The castle with what are those like axes or whatever coming
Mm-hmm.
across the logo
Mm-hmm.
is just so nice. It's a very well placed logo, and then the maroon and the blue usually should not really go together, but I think like the first time I saw them, I was like, oh, this reminds me of the Colorado Avalanche,
Yep.
and it works for them, and it also works for West Ham. West Ham's always kind of been like either really good or really bad,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in the middle of the pack. They fluctuate so much in terms of their success. But I'm just such a big fan of this look. And typically, I hate collared jerseys. I don't like it. I think they should all be crews, in my opinion. But this is one that does play for me, and I think part of it's because of the nostalgia. But especially with like the white shorts and then the maroon and blue top, it's just got a very good classic look, especially for that era, and that's why I threw them on.
Yeah. So I fucking love how it's the brand is Fila. That
Mhm.
is such a throwback, dude. Like that is awesome in my opinion. Like you just don't see Fila anymore unless you're a basic white girl wearing the Fila shoes nowadays.
Right, right, right,
Um,
right.
the chunky ones. But and this is not a complaint because I think the colors are sick. Why do so many other teams have this exact colorway? Because there are several. Burnley has it. Aston Villa has it. There are probably three more that all
Right.
have the same exact look, pretty much. That's my only question. I mean,
Yeah,
it
I mean,
works, but
that's kind of like there's a lot of sports that like, I mean, you even look in hockey, like how many teams are blue and white or red, white, and blue at that
hmm
point. Same with baseball. You know what I mean? If you put like the Red Sox colorway and the Phillies colorway, it's the same damn thing. They just style it differently, and it's one of those things that I almost get those more though because they're more common colors.
Yep.
Whereas these, it's like I'm surprised that they were carrying on with this through so many clubs, but with most clubs, it's typically like once you get colors, you keep them. So we're going to see these colorways probably for a while.
Yeah. The collared jersey, I'm not usually a fan of either, and really I think it's just because I get flashbacks to middle school soccer where Kiski soccer had us wear the collars, and that was horrible. But these aren't bad. They're not obnoxious or anything, and really it's a classic look. Like it looks like 1999. So especially with the Doc Martens sponsor on the front too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why more teams don't go with the white shorts. I think white with like any
it's
color.
It's a clean look, man.
Yeah. You got to do it. But that was a great way to start off. I'm going to go to my first pick, going with 95 Newcastle. So
I had to leave you one.
Yeah. Ben brought up Green Street Hooligans. Great movie, great film. That was one where when we were in high school we watched it all the time. Another soccer movie that I grew up watching, and I'm sure a lot of other people did too. I'm sure Ben did as well. The movie Goal. Santiago Munez goes to Newcastle United, and it's one of those, like, if you grew up playing soccer, you probably know that movie. It's awesome. The black and white stripes is so like iconic. For some reason, not a ton of teams really do it outside of maybe like Juventus. They're really the only other ones that do it. But Newcastle, like, they've definitely faltered over the past like decade or so. There for a long time, they were one of the like premier clubs in the EPL, and there's just a ton of history there. Their stadium's fucking sick, and the look itself is just iconic. It doesn't hit you over the head. It's just black and white stripes, and I also love the Newcastle Brown Ale sponsorship on the shirt too. Really, just it's like, it's almost like if, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of the whole Heinz Field debacle, but if the Steelers,
we're not talking about
it. But let's just say even just the Riverhounds just being sponsored by like Sheets or Icy Light or it's something like that.
I would love if the Riverhounds were sponsored by Icy Light.
Yeah.
That would be the best and funniest thing of all time. Yep. But no, I think that the beer sponsor makes this so much cooler, and it ties everything together. One thing that's kind of odd but kind of cool is that it just like sits on the stomach. Yeah. That usually most logos are like on the chest, but it's just like over the belly button. And oddly enough, I kind of love it, and it's extra funny because there is the beer sponsor over a beer belly, being right over your belly button. So big fan of these. The black and white stripes, gives you a bit of like an English Juventus vibe.
Yep.
But all in all, man, these were ones that like I was going through ones that I wanted to pick, and like I said, because I sent mine in first, I had to leave you at least one, and I figured I knew you were going to take this, and I had a couple others, so I needed to let you bring this one home.
Yep. No, that says there were a lot of Newcastle ones that I could have went with too. I just feel like these are, because of the beer sponsor, it really just took it over the top. And you mentioned like where it sits. I just think that's like an old soccer thing. I feel like their sponsors were always way lower for some reason. Probably because the shirts were massive.
Yeah, that's probably something. Now you can't catch a guy with a jersey that isn't glued to his skin anymore. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, it's just good classic look.
Yep.
And I think one of the jerseys that people look to for like a top soccer jersey.
100%. All right, Benny, what do you got for two?
All right, we got the 03 to 05 Portsmouth. I don't even know what the hell they are. Like
Portsmouth
are
FC.
They,
I have no idea.
They're just FC? Okay.
Yeah.
There's two main reasons that I like this jersey. Okay. One is the simple and classic colorway of the blue and white. It looks like a very, like, almost like high school-esque design jersey that you've probably seen 1,000 times before. And I'll let all of you, for half a second, take a guess as to why I love these jerseys. For the second reason. Yep, you guessed it. It's because their goddamn sponsor was Beanie Babies. That is hilarious to me, and I'm never going to let that go. The TY brand that is on the tag of every little one of those stuffed bears sponsoring a soccer team that and not that they weren't a big brand, like especially in the 90s, Beanie Babies ruled the world. That was like the collectible toy, like that was the American Girl doll or the GI Joe of that era. Like, people were collecting Beanie Babies for whatever reason all the time. But to see that as a sponsor also kind of makes me question the club's validity. Like, were they really your highest bid? Was there nobody else you were going to put on there other than that classic plush toy heart on the center? But either way, like I said, the jersey itself just brings back a lot of good nostalgia for me. Just looks like a classic high school jersey, guys who are grinding it out and have a soft side because they've got the goddamn Beanie Babies logo right in the center of their chest. But that's really all I got, man. I like the simplicity of them, and I also like that they were bold enough to throw that logo on there. It's kind of like if they had a Sugarloaf Claw Machines damn logo on their jersey. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's super soft, but hey, I like it. I dig it. I respect it.
Yeah, get you some boys who can do both. The ones grinding it out at the bottom of the league while also sporting the Beanie Baby logo. I love it, dude.
A guy who can do it both, just like Jack Del Rio.
Yeah, that's right, dude. Ben, do you want to? Do you want to guess how? On average, what would you say like the average Beanie Baby would cost nowadays? Like, how much are they worth?
I know they're expensive, bro. Yeah. I know they're expensive, but which is crazy because I remember my aunt used to have a ton. I wonder if she still does. Like just a basic run of the mill, or are you looking at like a special edition Beanie Baby right now?
Well, so they do have that, but I'm looking at so if you had to guess like I'm looking at the top 25 most valuable Beanie Babies, right? If you had to give me the bottom edge, like number 25 on that list, what do you think the limit is?
$1,000.
$14,000.
Holy shit, for 25?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hey, all you lonely women who grew up in the 90s, sell your Beanie Babies. We are trying to help you make some profit, okay? And maybe ship us like 10% for giving you the idea. But geez, 14 grand for the 25th most popular Beanie Baby?
Yeah. Yeah, Squealer the Pig.
It's a little plus bear. Oh.
Squealer the Pig. Worth
the Pig.
Worth $14,000.
I wish Beanie Babies could talk.
Yeah.
So that thing could be like, why the hell am my name Squealer the Pig? Look at me. I look ridiculous. Like,
so we got 4 of them that are tied for 10th most valuable. Hippity Hoppity and Floppity the Bunnies coming in at 50 grand. Lefty the Donkey coming in at 50 grand. Gobbles. I don't know what that is.
Lefty the Donkey.
Yep.
$50,000 for a plush toy that could fit in the palm of my hand.
Yep, and then Steg the Dinosaur at 50 grand. Yep.
This is remarkable.
Yep. I'm just going to number 5. Let's go number 6 because I don't really know. I don't know what. Or let's go number 4. Digger the Crab, all-time name. 100 grand sitting at number 4.
All right, give me number 1.
Princess Diana is not worth.
Wait, there was a Princess Diana Beanie Baby?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It must have because I don't know. It's worth $900,000.
$1 million for a Princess Diana Beanie Baby.
Yep.
Who's just like, hey, I got a fresh mill for this dead princess Beanie Baby. What is this? Who has this money? This is like, you know what? Drake would buy this.
Yeah.
Drake would buy this Beanie Baby. That's who would buy it.
Yeah, either Princess idiot. Diana or the number 3 guy on the list here, Baby Nut, worth 150.
Baby Nut.
I'm assuming he's
who
like
allowed them to name it that?
I don't know, dude.
Who allowed them to name it Baby Nut? That is so bad.
I don't know. Baby Cuckoo, Clubby, Hope the Bear, The End Bear, Tuffy the Terrier, dude. Some of these names are fucking unbelievable. Oh, they have a picture of Princess Diana. Hold on. Okay, so it's literally just a purple bear with a white flower on it. That's it. So I don't know why it's $900,000, but
that's what I look like right now. Can I be worth $900,000? What the hell?
I don't think you're as cuddly as this guy or this.
I beg to differ.
Shit! I didn't think that we go on a Beanie Baby tirade there, dude.
Who would have ever thought that in the history of this show we would go on a rant about goddamn Beanie Babies? Not me. Look at us. Who'd have thought? Not me.
Not me. Not me. Look at us. All right, we got to move on from that. It's great second pick.
Too.
All right, so I'm gonna go with a slightly newer one here.
This pick, I love this pick.
Yep. So I'm gonna go with the 2016 Leicester City third kit. It's not Leicester, you uncultured buffoons. It's Leicester. Okay. This team was the team that really came out. It came out and shocked the world back in 16 or 17. One of those years came out, shocked the world. They won the Premier League after only, I think it was their second year in the Premier League. And it was like literally the most shocking thing that had ever happened in sports, period. Because soccer is not something that you can just get up into the Premier League and then just win. Like, there's so much money getting thrown around that it just almost makes it impossible. It takes a long time to get to that level.
Right.
A lot of injected money. Like, Manchester City, they're like top dogs now, but for a long time they weren't. They were like sitting mid-table for the longest time until the Arab money started coming along. They injected some of that oil money, and even that took years for them to really take that next step. So the fact that Leicester did this was unbelievable. I love this third kit. So it's not even their away jersey, it's their alternate. And all it is just a simple white jersey with thin, I wouldn't even say pinstripes, thin stripes going down. I love the fact, I don't know why Puma doesn't get enough love. I feel like Puma makes some sick looks in soccer. I love the fact that Puma pulled this off, and they did it in spades. I love these. I even remember when Leicester first came up, I started hearing about Leicester saying, hey, we're going to win the league in the next 5 years, and then they fucking did it in the next 2.
Yeah. And, I mean, definitely I'm on Puma's side for sure because I think that they don't get enough credit, but it's also because they don't get a lot of coverage either. Like, there's not a lot of teams that are reaching out to them to kit them out, obviously. But I think that there should be more because this is like a touch of class to the soccer world because it's simple. It's not overcomplicated, but it doesn't look like exactly classic either. Like it's its own new, modern, but clean look without getting it muddied up too much. And like you said, with what Leicester did for their program altogether, that'd be like if the Altoona Curve got bumped up to the MLB and won the World Series in 2 years. Like it's just crazy the story that they had and how good they've been in still being able to somewhat remain relevant. And also, like, I like Leicester's logo.
Yep.
I actually like a lot of the guys that play for them. They're just a likable team, and this look is part of it. I love that you chose one that's not in their main rotation. This is
Yep.
just a clean, very solid look. This was, no joke, my favorite pick that you put, just because I'm such a big fan of this kit,
Yep.
and I feel like a lot of people might not understand it, but I just think it's super clean.
Yeah, and it's like a weird touch too, but the King Power sponsor logo just looks good with all
It looks like
like
it fits there, because we've seen
yeah.
sponsors like the Beanie Baby
Yeah.
that make absolutely zero sense being on a jersey, but that one fits almost.
Yeah. It has like a royal look, like a I don't even know if that's the best way to put it, but like King Power just sounds good. It looks good on that kit for some reason. I don't know why. Their logo is sick too. I love the fox. Like that fox is
That's what I mean, dude.
awesome.
It's sick. Also, King Power was my nickname in high school.
Was it?
Nope. Uh,
I was gonna say I don't remember that, but uh, um, all right, Ben, what do you got for pick 3 here?
okay, this is my last and final pick. I know that you've probably seen a lot of maroon from me, and some of you may say that I'm also biased because that is the high school that we coach at's colors as well. But it usually smacks, and this is a case where I like it. Arsenal, despite me being a Chelsea fan, Arsenal is someone that I give credit to because I think they've got one of the best logos in sports, period. And this is a kit that's an alternate for them. They don't wear very often, but I loved it. Again, Smalls, as we talked before, the white shorts to help
Yep.
make this play very well. And also just that color of maroon or burgundy or garnet, whatever you would refer to it as, with the gold O2 logo on it is so perfect. It's almost like Harry Potter Quidditch Gryffindor esque, but I really like that with the main Arsenal logo on top, and I love that that Arsenal still makes their logo a main part of whatever kit they're wearing, even if they are having another sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that it was going to bother me that it's not on a chest. But it being vertical doesn't bug me as much. I almost kind of like it. I like it being up front and bold, and then just the gold of the logo and it being so simple. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not a super complicated logo. It's not like you have the Starbucks logo in the middle or something. It's just a simple O2 on there. It's very clean, very nice. I am partial to Nike, so I like what they put
Yep.
together here. The material, the jersey looks good. The color looks good. The matching of that with the gold and the white, it just all flows together so well. And this is one that I put it on here simply just because it's aesthetically pleasing.
Yep. No, I mean these are beautiful. Like it's so clean, so simple. The burgundy or the maroon or whatever you want to call it with that gold, just fucking perfect. And then Nike just hit this one out of the park. It normally they do go with that red. So was this their alternate or was it their home kit? I kind of forget.
No, this is an alternate for
Alternate.
them.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know I just couldn't remember if they used this as a home kit for like 1 year because they're always red. I know that, but like
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. But yeah, the Arsenal logo I think is the best out there. Plain and simple. I don't think it gets much better than
Easy.
that.
I mean, and it's even like I know everybody focuses on the cannon, and yeah, it's badass, but
Mm,
even the crest that they
yep.
build around it is just so clean, like it's a badge,
Yep.
like it is. It's very clean. I've always been a big fan of them if they're not playing Chelsea, like simply because of their logo. Like that's so I dig what they have to offer in this one specifically.
Yep. No, I'm a big I was a big Thierry Henry fan. Like this era of Arsenal was just sick to watch. Like they
They
were
were incredible.
unbelievable too. And I mean, yeah, I'm a sucker for white shorts too. So like it, just overall like clean. Like this is the definition of clean, I think. The only thing that I think would have made it a little better was getting rid of the collar. And that's it. But it's not like obnoxious. It doesn't really stick out. So it's not
Right.
that bad. That's just a personal thing that I'm
No, and I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah. Great way to wrap it up though. We're gonna go to my last one.
Bring me home.
So we're gonna go with 96 Liverpool here. We're going with their away kit. So if you guys know, Liverpool's home kit is all red. They pretty much wear that like more than anything else. Green doesn't even go with most of their color schemes, but there for a few years they went with the green away kit. And there's just something about this that I love. Maybe it's just the Adidas logo up on the chest. That's really cool. Maybe it's the Carlsberg beer sponsor. Maybe it's just the fact that it's almost like a checkerboard sort of thing going on. I don't know what it is. This is just aesthetically pleasing to me. It makes me want to go put this on and go to like a pub over in England. Like this is just like one of the most like English looking jerseys out there because of the era, because of probably a lot of things, but it just makes me want to go smoke cigars and get like a pint.
I was gonna say this will make you want to grab a pint with the
Yeah.
lads. It's a very classic English soccer
Yep.
jersey, and especially that era, which really like I mean soccer's always been popular, but definitely in England, I think things popped off in the '90s for them for
Mm.
sure. And like you said, the beer sponsor is always going to smack and plays into what we were talking about wanting to throw it on and go grab a pint. Um, but the sponsorship is great. The alternate colors are great for something that, as you mentioned, isn't part of their typical colorway. Is just cold, and I feel like people could screw this up
Yep.
trying to do the four square checkered thing, but they just did it right. And I also like that, like on each sleeves, even the green sleeve, it still has like the white wrist
Yep.
cuff, just a lot of small details in this uniform from head to toe that I really like. And it's a classic. And this is one that if you truly like soccer and you like soccer kits, you can't argue with it being on here because it's sick nasty.
Sick nasty. All right, Benny, that was a good one. Just to recap, 99 West Ham for you. Beanie Babies logo for your second pick with Portsmouth. And then, of course, Arsenal bringing it around. The Arsenal, this is not me talking bad on the Beanie Baby pick. It's just I have to give props to the two on the ends there because those are sick. And I mean, Portsmouth, I don't
and
know anything about Portsmouth, but like the Beanie
and you have to give me credit for the two on the side and $900,000 for the one in the
Yep.
middle.
Yep, no, 100%.
um, And then for you, obviously Newcastle, that's like the quintessential EPL jersey.
Mm,
Like everybody recognizes that who's even remotely been around soccer. It's clean. Your middle pick is legit my favorite pick. And then your last pick is also a classic that just is very much so, I think, for this show, like
yep.
for us.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes so well. All like I'm not disappointed with a single
No.
jersey that came across our timeline today.
Yeah, absolutely not. We think that was definitely a good show. We went down the Beanie Baby rabbit hole, which I'm gonna have to do a little more research and find out like how do they even price these? Like, what's like, hey, that one is worth 50 grand.
Yeah, dude. I don't know because, like, the old adage is, something's only worth what somebody will pay for,
Yeah.
right? So evidently they must have gotten in touch with Drake. He was like, "Yeah, I'll give you 900,000 for that," and they were like, "Okay, Princess Diana, this purple bear is going to be worth that much," and little baby nut or whatever the other one was that you
Yeah.
looked up.
Yeah.
Um,
Baby nut, dude.
so baby nuts is up there also. I can't believe that. So as a tip to each other and anybody watching, if you know anybody with Beanie Babies, don't ask them why you need them, but just go get them
Yeah.
and then figure this out so that we can go make some money.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't want to sell them, we will. So send it to us.
Yeah, send them here as a gift.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got baby nut sitting in your closet, send it our way.
Don't. If you do have baby nuts in your closet, do not send them our way, please. Good God.
Yikes! All right, Benny. This has been the Vault. Appreciate everyone stopping in as always. This is the weekly show that takes a look back at some of the best and worst jerseys in sports. Quick announcement: because of soccer season upcoming here in the fall. We kind of talked about it before. Me and Benny are coaching here in the fall together. We've been talking, and we did the same thing last year. If anything, it might just be a little earlier this year, which is fine. It's not. I don't think it's that big of a deal, really. But this upcoming week, next week's episode of Vault will be the season finale. So
Yep.
we want to wrap it up in good fashion. Want to make sure that we put out something good before we get too busy. And really, I just want to make sure that we have energy to bring you guys the best show possible. And the best way to do it is for us to wrap it up before we get super, super involved with this season. And then, if anything, it'll help us come back next year just as hungry as we did this year. So,
yeah, and we want to give you good quality. We don't want to burn through ideas. We don't want to burn through our energy and our effort for this. I think that us capping it at seasons is good because you're getting great quality shows throughout the entire season. And then before you know it, we'll be back, baby.
Yep.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
With a state title to put on the show. So that'll be pretty cool also.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the best way for us to truly tap into soccer and be truly tapped into this show when we're doing it. So I love what we do, and I don't want to go a week without doing it, but it's the healthiest thing for the show.
Yep.
And season 3, we're going to be back with a bang.
Yep, absolutely. Appreciate it, guys. Hey, we'll see you guys next week.